student. Stay home, stay safe. As we have started with the new academic year, let us start with the new course, that is methods of analysis. As in first year, first semester, I taught you about the pharmaceutical analysis. We'll go quickly into the details of the pharmaceutical analysis and coming back again to our most important topic, that is spectroscopy. Before that, pharmaceutical analysis. So it is the art of recognizing and estimating the identity, strength, quality, and the purity of the pharmaceutical by application of accrocygure. Means pharmaceutical analysis is the art of recognizing. We have to recognize and estimate. We have to find the concentration of the pharmaceutical ingredient. We have to identify which is the ingredient by application of the accurate procedures. The recent development in the pharmaceutical analysis of and the human needs, they are putting a constant pressure on the analysts to develop newer and newer pharmaceutical analytical technique and validate them, which are selective, sensitive, as well as they are fast, economical, and must be reproducible. So it is the scientific discipline that develops and applies method, strategies, and instrument to obtain the information regarding the composition and the nature of in space and time. So, pharmaceutical analysis, there are several analytical methods like spectroscopic methods like UV visible, IR, mass, NMR spectroscopy, chromatographic methods like HPLC, HPTLC, supercritical fluid chromatography, GCMS, LCMS. So, electrochemical methods of analysis like conductometry, coulometry, potentiometry, polarimetry, then other conventional methods like titrimetry and the gravimetry. So now move towards our major topic, that is spectroscopy. Before going for the UV visible spectroscopy, we must know about what is the spectroscopy. Spectroscopy, here the molecule or the matter is exposed to some kind of radiation. Suppose this is a matter, it may be an atom, it may be a molecule or ion, and it is exposed to some kinds of radiation, and the response given by this matter is recorded in the form of graph called as spectrum. And from the study of the spectrum, we can throw a light on the structure of molecule. We can elucidate the structure of molecule based on the response given by the molecule after it is exposed to kinds of radiation. So we can say spectroscopy is the interaction between the electromagnetic radiation, that is EMR, with matter. So matter may be atom, ion, or molecule. And what is that electromagnetic radiation? EMR is electromagnetic radiation means when you already know that when light is passed through a prism, we'll get the different color band. We'll get the different color bands there, and each color corresponds to a wave having a particular wavelength, that is continuous, we can call continuous spectrum. So EMR, it's the incandescent solid as filament of the electrical lamp having the large number of individual waves of varying wavelength, each wave having particular wavelength. So when the molecule is exposed to kind of radiation, it either absorb the radiation or it emit the radiation. So we can after studying the absorption and emission, we can throw the light on the structure of the molecule. There are different types of spectroscopy. We'll go one by one. First, based upon the molecular, based upon the level of the study, it is divided into atomic or molecular spectroscopy. Atomic spectroscopy, it deals with the interaction of EMR with the atom, which are most commonly in their lowest energy ground state. And the examples are atomic absorption spectroscopy or flame photometry. When study involves the molecule, when it is deals with the interaction of EMR with the molecule, it becomes molecular spectroscopy, where UV, IR, UV, IR, colorimetry, then fluorimetry. Here, the molecular absorption, emission, or vibrational study is done. Then, second classification is based upon the absorption or emission of EMR. There are again two types: absorption spectroscopy or emission spectroscopy. Absorption is the excitation process, emission is the relaxation process. Excitation process, where ground state and excited state are present. Ground state means it is the most stable and having least energy, whereas excited state, it is the least stable having the more energy, and the lifetime in the excited state is about only 10 raised to minus 8 to 10 raised to minus 9 seconds. After that, when molecule absorb a part of light and it goes to the excited state from ground state, it becomes unstable and it emits the energy in the form of either heat or either a photochemical species or a particular or a wavelength, and return to the ground state. The amount and the type of absorption, type of electromagnetic radiation he absorbs, it totally depends upon the structure of molecule, which kind of molecule is present in that chemical species. Okay, so excitation process means it is the absorption process, and emission process is the relaxation process. So in emission, either production of heat happens, or here production of heat happens, or decomposition into a new species, that is photochemical reaction. Production of heat means it is the collisional deactivation and emission of the radiation. If it is specific wavelength, then it becomes a flame photometry. Characteristic of the it is the characteristic of the excited species, whereas longer wavelength, if it is immediately, then it is the fluorescence. Longer wavelength, after some time lag, then it becomes the phosphorescence. So second type is absorption and emission spectroscopy. The third category is based upon the electronic or magnetic level. If spectroscopy and in spectroscopy, which include the electronic level transitions, then it becomes electronic spectroscopy, like UV visible, then fluorimetry, and the magnetic spectroscopy, it involves the influence of magnetic field, then it becomes NMR or ESR spectroscopy. So electronic and magnetic spectroscopy. EMR, electromagnetic radiation, has two components. Uh, one is called as electric and one is called as magnetic component. If the study under the electrical changes, electronic level changes, then it is electronic spectroscopy. Under the influence of magnetic field, then it becomes the magnetic spectroscopy. Okay, now we'll go into the details of electromagnetic radiation. What is that EMR radiation? It is the form of energy that is transmitted through the space at an enormous velocity. Doesn't require any media. Rather, it passes readily through the vacuum than that of the air. It has dual nature. It has wave as well as particle property. So, if we study about the wave properties of the EMR, there are alternate electric, you can see here, there are alternate electric and alternate magnetic properties, and there is a direction of propagation of light. Electric and magnetic property, they are perpendicular to the each other, and they are perpendicular to the propagation direction. So there are wave parameters. You can see about the So, what is mean by electromagnetic spectrum or EMR spectrum? The entire range over which the electromagnetic radiation exists. Look at here. The entire range over which the electromagnetic radiation exists is known as electromagnetic spectrum. The EMR spectrum covers an immense range of wavelength, and an algorithmic scale is employed to represent this. The arrangement of all type of electromagnetic radiation in order of their increasing wavelength or decreasing frequency is called as EMR spectrum. So look at here. It start from gamma rays. It start from gamma rays, X-ray, UV, visible, infrared, microwave to radio wave. The wavelength from gamma to radio, it increases the wavelength and decreases the energy. Here it is the highest energy, here it is the lowest energy, and wavelength from here to here, it increases the wavelength. Highest energy gamma rays having the shortest wavelength. Here as we go from gamma to radio, the lowest energy having the highest wavelength. So here we'll see one by one. Gamma rays, they are the having shortest wavelength and highest energy. The type of transition here, when they interact with the matter, nuclear level transitions occur. Nuclear level. X-ray, the inner electronic. Then ultraviolet, it becomes the outer electronic level. Electronic, that means electronic level transitions occur. Visible, again electronic level transitions occur. Near infrared, the molecular vibrational level transitions occur. Microwave, molecular rotations, electron spins and flip. Radio wave, nuclear spin. So our most important, that is ultraviolet. The ultraviolet, it ranges from 200 to 400 nanometer, and the visible, it start from 400 nanometer to 800 nanometer, whereas look at here, ultraviolet from 200 to 400 nanometer, and whereas visible from 400 to 800 nanometer. And here near infrared, 2.5 micron to 750 nanometer, and infrared, it is from 25 micrometer to 2.5 micron. So in between the ultraviolet, in between the ultraviolet and infrared, there is a visible region. It is the visible region. It starts from violet and end with the red, and before that violet region we can call it as a infrared, and that after that red, it becomes infrared region. So have you understood? Ultraviolet, before visible, will start from violet to red, and before the violet it is ultraviolet region, and after the red it becomes infrared region. And as EMR spread over a number of waves having particular wavelength from gamma to radio frequency, gamma rays, these are the shortest wave having the higher energy. And as we go from gamma to radio waves, the radio waves are like mountains. Uh, they are the longest wavelengths, and they are having the least energy. So ultraviolet, the region is from 200 nanometer to 400, visible from 400 to 800 nanometer, and infrared is in micron. So let us again will go for the level of transitions. In case of gamma or X-ray, nuclear level transitions occur. In case of UV visible, there is electronic outer layer shell electronic transitions occur. In case of infrared, it is molecular vibrations. Ground state means what? It consists of sum total of rotational, vibrational, and electronic level. So changes in the rotational, vibrational, and electronic level, and study of that means it is the spectroscopy. So we can here summarize like gamma rays, they lies between zero point 0.2 to 10 nanometer. They are the shortest wave, and they emitted by the atomic nuclei. Nuclear level changes occurs. And the X-rays are between 10 to 100 nanometer and emitted and absorbed by the movement of electron. They are used for the diagnostic purpose, whereas ultraviolet and visible, there are again vacuum UV and visible region. Vacuum UV start from 1 to 180 nanometer, then visible it is in between 180 to 400 nanometer, and the visible is between 400 to 800 nanometer. The distinction between the vacuum UV and UV is made here because air start absorbing below 180 nanometer. So we need to prepare the cell we need to prepare the cell by the use of quartz material. Construction of the cell is of quartz material. So this then the visible spectrum, person with a normal vision can see these color transitions from violet to red. In case of infrared, there are again three types. Near infra, that is from zero point 0.7 to 2.5 micron. Then infrared 2.5 to 15 micron, and far infrared, that is 15 to 200 micron. And it is associated with the vibrational changes in the molecule, not the electronic level, the vibrational level. Then microwave region, it is in between 0.1 to 1.1 mm to 1 centimeter wavelength. The changes correspond to rotational levels of the molecule. The separation between the rotational level of molecule are in order of hundreds of joules per mole, and the radio frequency region, it lies between 1 centimeter to 10 meter wavelength. The energy changes involved in this region are due to the reversal of spin of the nucleus. So what we understand from this is that the gamma rays and X-rays, they are more powerful radiation and having shortest wavelength compared to ultraviolet, visible, and IR radiation. And if we consider UV IR over the microwave and radio waves, they are more powerful. In case of UV and IR, UV is the more powerful radiation having shorter wavelength, and infrared is the less powerful. In case of gamma X-ray rays, nuclear level changes occur. In case of UV visible, there is a electronic level transitions occur. In case of IR, there is a molecular vibrations, and microwave radio wave, microwave radio wave, rotational level changes occurs. Now, the origin and theory. What happens when interaction of EMR with the matter? What actually happens? So there are different types of molecular energies, different types of excitations. So in addition to the ordinary energy, that is translational energy, which is not concern of the spectroscopy, a molecule possesses the internal energy called as rotational, vibrational, and electronic levels. So we can say that E total is equal to E electronic plus E vibrational plus E rotational. So energy is higher of electronic level than that of the vibrational and rotational. Electronic level consists of different vibrational levels, and each vibrational level consists of different rotational levels. So translational energy is associated with the uniform motion of the molecule as a whole. So we can say that E translational is equal to 1 by 2 mv square, whereas rotational energy, it is the overall rotation of molecule, it is the overall rotation of molecule with the atom considered as fixed mass. Atoms are considered as fixed mass, and then the overall rotation, that is rotational energy. E rotational we can give express as E rotational is equal to 1 by 2 I omega square. Omega is the angular velocity and I is the moment of inertia. It is used in case of the microwave. In case of microwave, rotational level changes occurs. Vibrational energy, then it is the type of energy associated with the oscillation of the atoms, which are considered as point masses. Oscillation of the atoms to and fro movement, scissoring and twisting. Then here, in case of IR, this vibrational level changes occurs. E vibrational is equal to h nu into V plus 1 by 2. And the most important is the electronic level transitions. Electronic level transitions. In this type of energy, it is associated with the motion of the electrons, while considering the nuclei is a fixed point. Nuclei becomes fixed point, and the motion of electrons in that atom is considered here. So it requires higher energy for moving the electrons in the atom. So if the radiations from visible and IR regions are used, it brings the electronic level transitions in the molecule. So we can say that microwave, the rotational level excitation occur. Infrared, it is rotational plus vibrational, because in vibrational rotational levels are present, and in case of UV visible, along with the rotational vibrational, electronic level changes occur, and in case of NMR, it is excitation of the nuclear energy levels. You can see it clearly here. Here E0 is present, that is electronic ground level, and E1 it becomes electronic excited state. And each electronic level consists of number of vibrational levels, and each vibrational level consists of number of rotational level. And when atom or molecule absorbs the when atom or molecule absorbs the UV or visible light, then it goes from electronic ground state to the electronic excited state from E0 to E1. From any of the vibrational level, V1 to next V1, V2 to next V2, V3 to next V3 level. So we can say that E is equal to E1 minus E0, and you already know that E means it is h nu. So spectroscopic techniques and the chemistry behind that is UV visible spectroscopy, UV visible region, that is of bonding electrons, atomic absorption, atomic transitions and electrons, FTIR, that is vibrational and rotational changes, Raman, that is vibrational, then X-ray, inner electron, FTNMR, that is nuclear spin state, X-ray crystallography, that is 3D structure. The spectroscopic techniques and their uses. You know that UV visible spectroscopy, that is used for quantitative analysis to study the conjugation between the molecule, that is Beer's law. Atomic absorption, that is quantitative analysis. Again, the Beer's law, we'll go in details of Beer's law in the next lecture. FTIR, that is, it is concerned about the functional group analysis. Raman, that is functional group analysis. Quant. FTNMR, that is structure determination. X-ray, that is elemental analysis. X-ray crystallography, that is 3D structure analysis. Mass, it is concerned about the molecular weight of the compound, and from NMR we can elucidate the structure of the molecule. So ultimately, with the use of spectroscopy, we can elucidate the structure of molecule depending upon the nature and the nature of EMR and the amount of EMR absorbed by the molecule. After studying that, how much is the light absorbed or how much is the light emitted, and what is the we can read the spectrum, and finally we can conclude to the different uses. Okay, dear student, this is about the introductory section of the UV visible spectroscopy. From tomorrow, we'll start with the actual UV visible spectrophotometry. Thank you.